What's up, you guys? I'm here with a new video today, and I'm here to do the episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! On Heroes. Masked Heroes, whatever you want to call it. I really like this deck. I think this is one of the most fun decks out in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I really enjoy it. A lot of people don't, but I do. It's one of the decks I built in real life. I really like this deck because if anyone who played Bubble Beat OTK remembers just how ridiculous it is, how in a matter of a turn or two you can just win. The ability to just spam out monsters and make like Blade Armor Ninja and make Excalibur was basically how you just won. It was so quick, and you could just call the haunted back monsters, just attack with everything for game. It was insane. Now, because of the all star of the deck, Dark Law, the deck has risen, in popularity, and the hero structure deck gave them a boost, giving them Shadow Mist, etc. You know the basics. What I really like about it though is that the deck is still surviving and still evolving as the format continues. I'm gonna just talk about what I think is good about it. What's good about it is that it can put a lot of pressure on the board very fast. It doesn't take long to just open with a hero lives, bring out Shadow Mist, get your mass change, and automatically make a Dark Law. Stick a Dark Law on the board and set a bunch of back row, and you pretty much just you tell your opponent to go. And these days, Dark Law is just so effective against the format. It's really good against Necroz. It's good against Cliff Forts. It's good against like the main decks of the format. Dark Law obviously is the reason why the deck has grown in popularity and become one of the top contender decks right now. The card is just simply amazing. I mean, a walking macrocosmos is insane, and the fact that it's 24 isn't too bad either. Other things I really like about this deck is believe it or not, with the triple rotas and the e-call, in addition to other cards, the deck's pretty consistent. I noticed, maybe just in my testing, some people might disagree, but I feel the deck's pretty consistent. You can always add more search cards if you want to, but I noticed a lot of lists just play 3 rota and 1 e-call. There's no need to, since you only play a total of in this build here. This was one of the lists that I saw, edited a little bit just for my own liking. You run about 6 to 7 heroes, so needing to put extra e-calls, is player preference. I don't really feel it's necessary. You do have a hero lives, which I really like. I've always really liked this card. Now, a lot of people don't. You pay half your life points, but it does stick a monster on the board. It does get you Shadow Mist. It does get you to your mass change, and it does get you to your Dark Law turn one, which I really like. In addition to that, you can use cool cards like Summoner Monk and Goblinberg. And Goblinberg's cool because you can rota it, the standard stuff. But I really like the deck. I like the fact that it's able to OTK. I like the fact that it's able to just control with Dark Law, and I like that it's able to hold its own with a plethora of trap cards to just stop the opponent in their tracks. That's what I think is really good about it. Know what's bad about the deck? A lot of people would argue with what I said, that the deck isn't consistent at all, that you can draw a bunch of just spells or a bunch of traps and just not have any monsters. And I guess that's true. That can happen with any low monster deck. But you use, your resources. Your rotas and e-call count as monsters. So in reality, you're running 14 monsters. If you count a hero lives, you're running 17 if you're maxing out on everything. So you do have a pretty quick access to monsters, which I like. Other things that people may not like about the deck is that if you aren't able to stick Dark Law, maybe it is kind of an uphill battle, but the ability to summon Dark Law is quite easily. So I really like that, and I think it's what makes the deck just really good contender with the format being how it is. However, I guess other things would be that you could lose hard to, I guess, cards like Naturia Beast, or I don't know if they play Royal Decree. I always have to give those options. I don't really like giving what's bad about a deck unless it's just extremely obvious. I don't really know what other things could be extremely obvious in a hero deck because I feel the deck's just really good. Obviously, it's not the best deck. Necroz and Cliffforts have proven that time and time again, just because they're faster and just because they just can, completely control the game from the get-go. I guess that could be the thing that's bad about the deck, is at times it can be slow. It can lose steam if you don't, draw the right cards, if you don't have the ideal setup. And I guess another bad thing would be that Dark Law, while it is 2400, 2400 is not a lot. Most monsters are able to get over it. Necroz monsters can get over it. Clifford's monsters can get over it. But I think like the counter argument to that is that since Dark Law makes you banish pretty much everything, they are gonna have to waste a lot of cards and really lose them because they're banishing them and they don't get cards back. when they're banished. So in the long run, they have to invest a lot of cards to get over Dark Law, and then you can always make another one, and you can always like mount a counter attack. Like if you stick Regeki or you get a snatch to whatever, you're able to come back. So I really like that. And what's Yu-Gi-Oh about this deck? Let's talk about the just most obvious thing. It's Dark Law, and the reason being is because of Dark Law, so many decks are using Mass Change 2. Now, obviously, you don't see Mass Change 2 in this template here, but that can always change. Mass Change 2 has been splashed in Burning Abyss. It won YCS Prague, and it used Mass Change number 2 to to make Dark Law and to just use it with Burning Abyss monsters to have a walking Macrocosmos, a one-sided Macrocosmos, and the ability to just, pull apart his opponent's hand. And it's just amazing that, the release of one card could change the way that a deck is played and also create innovation in some decks that a lot of people were giving up on. And I think that alone makes it, one of the best decks around and one of the best strategies around, as well as, let's face it, it's Heroes, you guys. It's a show deck. That's the most Yu-Gi-Oh thing of all. It is Yu-Gi-Oh personified. Jaden played Heroes. Obviously, he didn't have these heroes, but the fact that that the deck lives on in the OCG and the deck will live on here, Stratos or no Stratos, one day we will get Stratos back, but until then, the deck is still going to be played, and I think that's just the timeless thing about Heroes is that people are not going to give up on this deck. They're always going to find a way to play it. They're always going to find a way to innovate it. We've seen so many versions of Heroes over the years that the deck is always going to be around unless they completely just annihilate every hero card around. And maybe there will be a day Stratos comes back and it'll make the deck even better than it is right now. Because let's face it, Stratos is the best hero. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I want to leave the comments open to you guys. What do you guys think about Heroes, this format, the rest of this format? This format's about to be over, and we're going to be going into the new format. The April 1st ban list is on its way. It'll be here anytime soon. If you saw the OCG list, it's pretty insane. Murder, Dragon Rulers, and Shaddolls. Left Heroes alone. I'm pretty sure they're going to leave Heroes alone here. The only thing that would be nice is adding Stratos back into the game, but don't really know if that's going to happen, but we can see. But I think Heroes is going to be a deck that's going to be good the rest of this format and hopefully into the next format because you can always change out cards as the list makes itself clear. It's able to play. Crush Card Virus if that card goes up in popularity. Even with its errata, it's able to play a lot of cards. It's able to play a lot of traps, and it's able to just control games with Dark Claw. And that's why I think it's one of the best decks around. And that's just my opinion. A lot of people are gonna say it's one of the worst decks around. That's fine, but I really like the deck, and I hope a lot of people do too. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, you guys. Let me know if there's any other episodes you want to see. I was gonna do one on Ritual Beast. I'm actually not that familiar with the deck, but I'm gonna do some research. If not, I will talk to a couple people to get some help on it because I have not played against it yet, and I'm still doing research on the cards. But I'll definitely try to bring that episode to you guys soon, as well as I'm gonna be doing some video swaps. I'm gonna be having some live deck profiles coming soon, and of course we'll be having the ban list video as soon as it becomes public knowledge. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching.